I think Nikola Topic has been in the news, so let's stick to current events, right? Nikola Topic, it came out that he now has a torn ACL, or has had a torn ACL with that second knee injury. It also came out that he, like, officially, I guess, quote unquote, because, you know, we did talk about it in February for No Ceilings Plus subscribers, but Jonathan Gavoni reported that Topic has a 6'5.5" wingspan, which was less than the reported 7-foot wingspan, which was an error on one of the websites that people ran with. But he is, you know, he's also 6'7", so he's negative wingspan guy, but still great size. But does the knee injury change anything for you in how you're ranking Topic this year? And if you were a team, would you do anything differently? If you were really in love with Topic, does this knee injury change anything for you?
I mean, the truth is it's going to come down to your medical staff. You know, this is where this is why those guys get paid, what they do. And this is, you're going to have to turn to him and be like, is he going to get cleared? And is he going to be okay? And I even reached out to a scout about this. And he kind of gave me a little heads up about, he's like, I think Topic's ACL report came out next day. I was like, ooh, all right, 1 for 1. Good job. And I said, hey, well, what would you do? And he's like, hey, it's just all the pressure now is going on team doctors, which completely makes sense because you've got to feel comfortable enough taking this guy and that this isn't going to be something that happens all the time. I think with me personally, it's not going to completely move him down my board because this is still one of the youngest guys in this class. I still love the tools. It's just going to come down to, like, I would want the doctor to give me the green light. And if that does, then I'm going ahead. And I think teams will get a little scary, Corey. I think they'll get a little scared of, like, I don't know. But I think some team might get a pleasant surprise if he falls down a little bit. If you're in the mindset of, like, hey, young talent, maybe we redshirt for a little bit, let them develop, let them get healthy, and then we can have a fantastic piece. Like, I think, you know, I'm just speculating right now, but I feel like if he somehow is on the board with the Spurs at 8, they would jump all over that still. What about you? What do you think?
ACLs aren't what they used to be. You know, like the ACL tear changed my personal fandom, being a Bulls fan. And I feel like the Derrick Rose ACL tear was like the first time that it felt like, oh my God, like an ACL is like end of the road here. Like, you tear an ACL, your career is like completely changed in one way or the other. Before that, it was the what was the knee injury that Amari had, or the surgery that microfracture?
Yes,
it was like if you got microfracture, right, like your career was over. Then people stopped getting microfracture. Then they were tearing their ACL, and now it's like the Achilles. And I think even the Achilles, we're seeing people come back from. So I just think like medical science has evolved to handle fixing an ACL, and Topic is 18, so like the fact that he's younger, I think he's going to have like an easier time recovering from it. Yeah, of course, ultimately it's going to be like a team has to feel comfortable that his knee isn't completely shattered. Now every team is going to have access to these medicals, you know, where in the past that wasn't the case. So, you know, at least teams can feel a little bit more confident. But I'm not a doctor. I don't have access to the medicals. If it's just an ACL tear, I don't see any reason that it should completely change how you feel about this player. You know, Topic wasn't somebody who was going to come in next year and lead you to a championship. So if he has to miss some of next season, and you're a team who's drafting this high and you're going to take him, I don't necessarily think that's going to change how you view like your process. Like, if you think Topic is a special passer who has this crazy rim gravity and can finish, and you believe that his 88% free throw shooting is going to eventually translate out to the 3-point line, then I think you take him irregardless of, you know, what the knee injury currently is, because the games aren't starting tomorrow and you're not winning a championship 6 months from now. So you can afford to take that long view with a guy like Nikola Topic.
I completely agree. I think, you know, obviously it hits home a little hard for you, but I think if Topic, we were talking about this 6'4", like Derrick Rose, just super explosive guy that relies on his athleticism. Yeah, I'd probably get a little bit more concerned, but we're not Topic is not going to be known for his athleticism. We're still getting a 6'7" guard with good feel that does his damage with vision, anticipation. So I think I'm right there with you. It wouldn't sway me too much unless, my medical staff's really coming in and being like, hey, this is something you might want to be careful. And then I'm like, okay, I could probably try to find somewhere else. But because of his age, because of the skills, because of the size, everything he's got going, I would still be jumping on that at some point